What's up, everybody? It's the Geeks With Wives and Capes, and we're back in his house. That was fucking dumb. Casey Walsh, and that is why I don't host the podcast anymore, because I'm terrible at it. But Will is gone tonight. He's doing something. I don't know where the fuck he's at. He'll be back. He'll be back in a couple of weeks. He'll be out this week and next week. So tonight, it's just the host with the most. Someone's breathing extremely loud into the microphone.
It's not me.
Somebody sound like Darth Vader.
Yeah. Is that you, Shaun?
No, my mic's over here.
It's probably Piper. It's
You
Piper.
trying to say because I'm a thick ass brother? I really have
It's always Piper. Yeah, I had my little
started
microphone
out with
right up my nose.
At least you didn't blame it on the new guy right away. I appreciate that, guys.
Oh, it's already off the rails. So let me introduce my my host tonight. Your regular girl with the new wig every week. Piper, how's it going, Piper?
It's going pretty good. Sorry, I'm already done. No, it's going pretty good. I got to embarrass myself on the Geeks with Wives stream last night, so I'm doing pretty good.
What else is new? What are you drinking? Twisted tea? What is that?
Yeah, I'm drinking twisted tea because I'm broke and I finished all my wine. So
Disgusting.
It's tea, man. It's good.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
And good segue, Bradley. So that was our other co-host tonight, Bradley Bell, our newest comics reviewer, contributor. How's it going, Bradley?
Doing well. Glad to be part of the Geeks with Wives teams. Looking forward to contributing to these podcasts. Already, you guys have set a very high level, a high standard, so I'm going to try to live up to that high
standard, my friend.
I was about to say, wait, what have you been watching?
In fact, we're going to have to talk after the show, and I have to point you into some real podcasts, and then you're going to quickly abandon ours. God, that shit. The nonsense.
Not yet.
Yeah, you're gonna be regular now because your accent's gonna bring in the ladies, so it's gonna help us out a lot.
That sounds good. It worked for Matthew McConaughey. I hope I can parlay that into a permanent role on the show. All right.
Can you say time is a flat circle?
Time is a flat circle.
Yes.
Just life and existence, man. It's all nothing. There you go.
All right, you had to stop. I'm getting a little hard.
Man, get a little Woody Harrelson.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to. All right, I'm done here, Brad. You can take over the show. Never gonna get any better than that.
That's the show, you guys. That's what it's gonna be about.
And mic drop. I'll see you guys later. No. But in all seriousness, I'm glad to be here and contribute to the team, and looking forward to what's going to go down tonight.
All right, man. Well, we're glad to have you. Thanks for coming on board, and yeah, you'll be on as much as we can have you. So our guest tonight is the founder, proprietor, host extraordinaire of the @ETMF podcast, Shaun Washington. How's it going, Shaun?
Good. You made me sound way better than I am. I appreciate that.
No problem. I left out Geeks with Wives contributor as well.
Yes, I do all that. I hate writing, but I do it for you because I love you that much, Casey.
Oh,
thank you so much. And you add a little color to our team, which is nice.
Yeah, when you said that I want a profile, I was like, so not enough black people on the page. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
that was literally my reply. It's okay.
No, I'm kidding.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it.
I thought you were Darth Sparrow, and they just changed your pigment to be more diverse in the podcast.
If
only
only
like
it was
what
that
they're
simple.
doing in comics lately.
Oh
Not
no,
just
Brad.
joking.
oh.
This is going horribly wrong already.
Oh no, it's cool, man. Brad's cool. It's all right. It's late here in northeastern Georgia.
Time zone, yeah. Now everybody's going to think the guy with the southern accent is overtly racist, and that's definitely not true. Sorry if I had.
Way to stereotype there, man.
Yeah, the sun's still up. The sun's still up in California, so It's kind of weird. It's 11 o'clock over there.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man.
Okay.
That's why I've listened to your podcast live like once, because I'm usually laying in the bed at this time just blindly watching whatever's on ESPN trying to fall asleep.
Yeah, our podcast will help you fall asleep too, so it's probably a good call. All right, man. Well, welcome. So what's going on? What's new with you? What's been up with the ETMF podcast?
Well, after about 6 weeks, we decided to record again because I was near death. Dre was near death. All of the hosts were pretty much near death. Then kids were sick and people busy, man. So Derek is off doing auto shows all over the country, so we never know where the hell he is, off being ethnically ambiguous.
No, I always listen, and I'm like, what the fuck do you do at an auto show? So he just like stands there and looks good and talks about cars.
Yeah, people like literally come up to him and say, well, I want to buy a Toyota Camry. Can you tell me about like gas mileage and shit like that? And he has to talk to them about that. It sounds ridiculous, but I thought you just went to auto shows to look at cars, not to, try to haggle with somebody to convince you to buy one. You go to the dealership for. So.
Did they used to hire hot chicks to do that? Why?
Yeah. I thought they were decoration.
So there are attractive women that work with him, because my uncle actually texted me and was like, I need you to talk to Derek about that girl that he works with. So, I don't know. They got him to add a guy to the mix, so it's not just all women. But he has to study. It's like a class. It's very odd.
Huh.
But he's going to New York next month for 10 days for an auto show, so I guess it's working out for him.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know, but we strive to be as good as you guys podcast and actually record more than twice a month.
Yeah, I was saying we were talking about it earlier, but yeah, if we didn't have a regular schedule, I would be like, fuck it, I'm not recording. I'm gonna fucking play video games and do something else. But with the regular schedule, you feel like obligated to do it all the time. It kind of like keeps you like on your toes. Cool. Well, yeah, let's talk about comics or something, because we want to talk about Derek and his auto shows.
Yeah,
Sorry,
kick it off. What's up with the news?
So, did you guys check out the? Well, let's go with what we've been reading. So, Shaun, we'll start with you. Actually, no. I'll ask you what we ask all guests. So we'll treat you like a real guest. What's your geeky origin story? What got you into like comics and movies and all that and that kind of stuff?
To be honest, man, I've liked comics and video games for as long as I can remember. So like from the time I could read, I've kind of pretty much been in the comic books. So I don't even remember how I got into it. I assume like somebody I knew just brought around a comic book, and that was all I really read when I was younger. And of course I love all the movies. Of course, like regular people and not Piper, I love Spider-Man. That's what kind of got me into comic books.
People, oh, you suck. In my defense, I don't hate Spider-Man. I hate one of the dudes that writes Spider-Man.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Well, you're not gonna like this Week in Geek at all.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just I've always been in the comics and comic characters and video games and all that stuff. I mean, always. I actually bought a Sega Genesis with 80 pre-installed games on Groupon today.
Oh,
cool. Yeah, so you did pick that up, huh?
Yeah, I was so excited.
Nice. Yeah, I have I didn't buy the 80 game thing, but I bought like the Genesis like collection, whatever. I played it one time.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucking dumb. I'm not doing
it. It's gonna hurt my ass. It's gonna be so.
yeah, it's really hard. Cool, man. Well, yeah. So pretty much standard origin story.
Yeah.
For all of us. So right on. So we'll start with you. What have you been reading this week? What are you watching? What's your Week in Geek like?
I read Rat Queens 9 this week. I do like Rat Queens. I'm really not sure I like the new art yet, but maybe it's just because it's new. I thought that, same Rat Queens, funny, action, things like that. I really enjoyed it. I just, the look of it was just kind of off to me a little bit. I read some of the Titan comics, Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor trade. Huge Doctor Who fan, so I was seeing what that was like. I downloaded the 11th one too, so I hope those are good, because this last season of Doctor Who kind of has me down, so I need these comic books to kind of lift me back up.
You open the comic books and browse. I was gonna say, how do the comic books compare to the TV show?
You can kind of tell they're doing their best to kind of get the spirit of the characters, but it definitely misses something when it's written and not spoken. Oh, no, Survivor.
You don't get those accents down.
I love David Tennant so much I can just hear it in my head. It's okay. Reading it on
Yeah,
paper,
yeah.
that's all I need. That is literally all I need. I actually took notes. See, look at this. Yes, of course, to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
It was a good episode this week. I actually stuck with it this whole time. I never doubted it. Never.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I stuck with it too. That was a rough halt last season, but the payoff's been pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been pretty damn good. So I was glad with
Oh,
that.
sweet. I like you guys.
Yeah,
Well, it's crazy. Like, okay, so when does Inhumans come out again? Like, not till
Like
like
3 years.
2019.
Like,
Yeah,
like 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years.
3 years. Like, that seems crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
After the-
surprised at how far they're shoving that to the forefront, like, this early. I'm not upset. I'm just wondering
No.
how in the world they're gonna.
Yeah, I don't know. Something else is gonna definitely have to happen in the movies to kind of keep that going before they get to that. But
Well, I'm sure
ready to see-
like Scarlet Witch and all them will be considered Inhuman at
Right.
some point, but
Yeah,
Man,
that's kind of
that's-
their
that's
loophole
crazy.
to get around the whole mutant thing, to use the Inhumans, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
well now they're doing it in the comics too, my friend. Like, notice that
I
the
know.
X-Men and have been pushed way to the back, and then Inhumans have brought way to the front.
I was saying in our last podcast, it's crazy that the X-Men really don't mean shit anymore. And when they were like the biggest thing out there when I was growing up, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, we can't put you in a movie. We're done with you.
When
Yeah,
I
like
was
they-
growing up, yeah, same thing. It was the X-Men and Spider-Man, and then, with Civil War, they kind of pushed Cap and Iron Man to the forefront, and it's kind of been that way ever since. Sorry, Casey, didn't mean to cut you off.
I was gonna say, like, even in the cartoons, like, we're not even getting an X-Men cartoon, we're getting a Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon, which I'm fine with, I'm perfectly fine with it, but, like, what the fuck? Like, where's the fucking X-Men at? And the only reason, like, they won't get rid of it is because it's the X-Men. Like, they couldn't, like,
Right.
justify, like, getting rid of it. And I would, like I said, I've said this once before, but I would not doubt in my heart of hearts that when they brought Wolverine back to life, like, they somehow made him an Inhuman. Like, I would not, like, doubt it. So, we will see how that.
Hey, Fox gonna have to either get down or lay down. You can only say no to Marvel for so long.
Yep.
I mean, even
Did
Sony,
you,
finally cracked. So something's
Did you
gonna
see
have to
the
do.
new Fan 4 suits they released today? They released the images of, like, kind of the full suits that they're going to be wearing in Josh Trank's Fantastic Four reboot.
Yeah, don't that fucking movie.
Yeah, not,
Get outta here.
they look like a villain suit from John Woo's Mission Impossible 2. That's about what we're looking at.
That's really
It's so
weird.
dark, like it's so like Cronenberg, and I know he's like said like The Fly and like David Cronenberg was like an inspiration for the movie, but like I said once again, I said it before, like that was like the Fantastic Four was always like fun and lighthearted and like family oriented, and that just seems like dark and like dude, like the big horns all the time and like end of like times is kind of like it seems so like like again like
Casey's-
do we need this
He's so
every
upset
single
about
time?
that.
That's like
I'm
all.
so-
That's like all of their. That's all of their comic book movies anymore, though, and that's why they're dull. I swear, you could like chop them up and mix them with scenes from like their various sci-fi movies. You wouldn't be able to tell what movie you were looking at clips of.
Well, I mean, Marvel's kind of stayed more lighthearted, right? And it looks like
Yeah.
DC's approach is, or Warner Brothers is dark and gritty, and it looks like
Yeah, even that
Fan 4.
even the fucking Aquaman picture. The guy wears a yellow and green costume, and they're like,
Yeah.
no, dull, like gray and brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, see, Warner Brothers is doing that with the DC stuff, and for some reason, Fox decided that was a cool thing to do. I think so. They're trying to do it, and I'm like, I don't know, man. If Marvel starts going, hey, dark and gritty sells,
No.
I'm out. I think.
Well, I mean, we'll talk about. I guess we can talk about it now. But Daredevil looks super dark and gritty. But like I said, that
does.
fits that character. Like that
I was
character.
gonna
is dark
say
and gritty.
that fits. It's kind of a Batman-esque kind of situation where I think it fits in that setting, in that city, in the themes that are usually going on. It's got a lot of Batman-ish stuff to it, and dark and gritty works for Batman. I think dark and gritty works for Daredevil.
I don't think any Netflix series is going to be geared to just the medium is more adult. They're not going to, most kids aren't like, oh, there's a new Netflix series out that I never saw on any other channel. Let me go watch it.
Yeah, you're gonna find
Well,
that
I
shit in the
feel-
kids
Yeah.
tab.
one of the good things Marvel's done is each of their film franchises feels like something different. So you have this kind of Galaxy Quest and Guardians of the Galaxy. You have this kind of spy thriller in The Winter Soldier. And I think this is kind of their dark and gritty, but everything isn't dark and gritty. That Daredevil is going to be kind of unique because that is the one Marvel thing that's truly dark and gritty.
And it has to be all the way different from that shitty ass movie that came out. Like literally as different as possible.
Please. I still don't remember the ending of that movie. I tried to watch it 3 times and fell asleep at different parts.
They're doing straight up Frank Miller fucking costume. Like they're not even doing like the red like horns or anything.
No.
So,
it's like
well, they do that. He said that costume's there because he like sent out a tweet like the actor did, like saying it took 6 hours to get in his costume, or it took like 6 people or something crazy to get in his costume. So I'm sure they weren't talking about the Frank Miller one. So I'm sure we do get that one, either the yellow costume would be fucking holy shit.
They had to make sure that black bandana got just right. Took them about 6 hours to get it on, you know. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, the 2003 Ben Affleck Daredevil. I like the director's cut version of that movie. I'm not saying it's a good movie. I say I enjoy watching it. Which there is a difference.
Colin Farrell having a giant like bullseye like branded into his forehead is fucking pretty terrible.
Yeah.
That is the worst. I just looking at him.
I get where he's coming from though, because I too enjoy movies that are so bad they're good.
Yes. And you realize if you were reviewing them, it would be a bad rating, right? But you get some kind of guilty pleasure out of watching. I don't know if you guys have seen I, Frankenstein, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But I had a blast watching it because there's a random scene with no explanation where Aaron Eckhart is in the forest just swinging a bunch of bow staffs, training himself. And I was dying laughing, and there was only 3 people in the theater, so it didn't really matter.
Okay.
That's funny.
That one's on my Netflix queue. I'm waiting for like a lonely day by myself.
Yeah, I'm not watching that shit.
Sounds like I got better things to do.
Yeah, I get
It'll cheer
these
you up.
kids, man. I got to coach Little League Baseball, man. I don't have time for bad movies.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mention my last geeky thing this week. I've since Comcast is terrible and a horrible company, but they have the fastest internet around. They keep fucking badgering me about getting cable with them, so they gave me free cable and HBO. So I've been watching Game of Thrones.
Yes.
So I'm catching up on that. I'm almost done with season 2. So that's what I watch on the bus now. And I feel kind of bad because if somebody's sitting next to me, I don't want them to like look over at my phone and just see titties. I'm like, that's probably not okay.
Probably not okay.
But,
yeah, I can't really talk to you about Game of Thrones because I don't want like everything that like you haven't seen anything.
Yeah,
like,
you just spoiler
really cool yet. So
somehow I've insulated myself where I literally have no idea what's going on, and everybody I know watches it.
yeah, there's Game of Thrones, huh?
Yeah,
there's nothing to say to you because I don't want to ruin anything.
I should be through season 4 in like 3 weeks. I mean, I go basically an hour to work each way, so I get through damn near episode in one way.
Yeah, there's a couple moments like me and my wife are like looked at each other like, man, why do we put ourselves through this every week?
Yeah.
Seriously. So yeah, the Game of Thrones is fucking awesome. I'm really excited for it to come back.
Yeah, that's all for me this week, man. And coaching Little League Baseball, man, and dealing with these badass kids. That's pretty much all I do.
Fucking kids. Kids are the worst. In fact, does anybody want a kid? I got one for sale.
Not for a couple years, so.
3 years old, blonde, blue eyes. Maybe you can just, like, rent her for like a weekend.
The countdown is on, man. My son is out of here in 10 years, man. He's 8 years old, 18. He's got to get the fuck out.
Yeah. It doesn't work like that with girls. I think she's gonna be with me until she's 25. Unless I find her a nice man or woman to take her off my hands.
Oh man, dude, my son's all the time talking about when he is all grown up and we go grocery shopping and he borrows my car and he like this and that where he's he's planning on still living with me and stuff. And I'm like, no, when you're all grown up, you ain't gonna get any chicks if you still living with me, buddy. Like,
I'm gonna be unbearable once my son turns 16. Just total asshole for no reason, just to make sure he lives.
oh, I already have plans. Like, my parents embarrassed me hardcore on purpose, especially my dad. Like, he thought it was funny. And I'm like, man, I can't wait till you get old enough to, like, actually feel embarrassed by your goofy parents because it's going to be great.
Yeah,
You guys are
that's
malicious,
hilarious.
man. That's messed up. I just want to sell my kid, not torture her. At least I'll give her to a loving home. You guys just want to torture your kids.
No, it's fun.
Yeah, it does sound fun.
So Bradley, what
Bradley,
you been reading?
yeah,
let's-
why don't you take over the show?
Well, I'd love to tell you my geek origin story if you got a second.
Oh, I don't know if we have that.
Absolutely not. No.
No, go for it, Brad.
Nah,
Yeah.
mine.
Tell us
You
your
know-
origin story, my friend.
So born in the late 80s, kind of grew up in the 90s. Batman the animated series, Spider-Man the animated series is kind of what drew me in to the comic book geek world. Still to this day, when I read Spider-Man, I hear the actor's voice for the 90s Spider-Man. I don't hear Tobey Maguire. I don't hear Andrew Garfield. Just like I hear Kevin Conroy with Batman. I can't remember the voice actor's name off the top of my head, but that's what drew me in. And a lot of people will hate this, but my first experience with Star Wars was seeing the special editions in the theater, and that kind of drew me into my love for Star Wars and things like that, and discovered the comics and all the things that go with it.
Wait, which special editions? The ones that he remastered and put extra scenes in, or
no,
re-released in theaters.
Or the ones that
like,
came out the first time?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the 97 special edition. So the one where, Jabba the Hutt scene gets added to the New Hope where Jabba's tail gets stepped on.
Yeah.
That was my first experience with Star Wars. Unfortunately, I have went back and watched the original cuts, but...
Okay, it's not your fault, man. We have support group on Friday night, 8 o'clock.
I liked when they did that because it gave me a chance to experience them in theater. Because prior to that, I just watched them on VHS or something over and over and over and over again.
Well, now you can watch them in 3D with all the extra special effects.
Oh.
Well, Disney cut those out, those 3D releases, whenever they bought it because the Attack of the Clones was supposed to come out, and they decided not to go with that. But yes, Batman and Spider-Man for me still to this day. That's my two heroes. Sorry, Piper, if you're not a Spider-Man fan.
No, I agree on Batman, especially with the Batman animated series. Just it's better.
No, I think you're right on. I think people our age, Batman the animated series, that shit was on Friday night at 8 o'clock.
Was it? Was that the time it was on? Wow.
Yeah. That was a family event in my house. We all sat around and watched Batman, and then Spider-Man was an amazing show, and then X-Men too. We all just fucking grew up on that shit.
That's funny. I didn't even watch the Spider-Man cartoon. I must have hated Spider-Man before I knew I didn't like Spider-Man. Because I didn't even watch the cartoon. Oh my god. I watched all the other cartoons.
It sucks because they just took it off of Netflix.
Oh, I was going to say, it's on
Netflix.
Netflix.
On there. They just took it off.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even know it was there.
Either, so they don't
I think my relationship with Spider-Man was just he's been avoiding me. That's...
I mean, but besides that, probably a lot of y'all, which I don't know, y'all might have been a little older for Power Rangers, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers too.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of the thing, so.
You have my childhood.
I don't have the affection.
Yeah, he's got my childhood for the most part. I think we got to be about the same age.
I don't have the affection for Power Rangers that all these guys had. Don't get me wrong, I watched it and I totally had a crush on the Pink Ranger and
I was the Pink Ranger. I had to be the Pink Ranger. That's how much I liked it.
Now, which Pink Ranger are you talking about?
Kimberly?
The first one, Kimberly. Yeah.
See, I always liked Catherine, the Australian girl. That's the one I always had the hots for as a kid.
Yeah,
the one that seduced Tommy. I mean, come on, guys, come on.
Was she a Beetleborg or?
No, she not that one. No, not Beetleborgs.
I always even when I was a kid, I was like, man, Power Rangers is fucking whack. Those aren't even That's not even them in the costumes. They're like scenes from like another like Japanese show.
That was only
Yeah.
for the first 2 seasons, right? And then they actually started filming their
Then
own
they
thing.
actually started. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ran out of the previous canned scenes from the Zai Ranger or whatever.
Because they only
called
use
it.
Japan only uses those same characters for one season, I believe.
Yeah.
So they ran out of footage.
Yeah.
Their kids have much higher fucking lower tolerance rates. Like, fuck, we can only handle this shit for one season. You guys gotta move on.
Hey, Power Rangers. Hey, man, Power Rangers was a shit, man. We used to convince the people in my after school program to like let us watch it. They like bring a TV in, and all the different groups would come and watch it.
What?
That's how I watched
It was
it.
banned from our school. We weren't allowed to wear Power Rangers clothes. We weren't allowed to call ourselves Power Rangers. We weren't
What?
allowed to like play. Oh yeah, no, banned.
Oh wow.
I mean, you
In
forgot,
California.
like, that
Oh, yeah.
show was like a worldwide phenomenon, right? I mean, everywhere. Live action stage shows, you couldn't find the toys anywhere. It was huge. Like, everybody knew what Power Rangers was. So, I don't know, just a special place. But now that you look back, it's the kind of the property that doesn't age with you, whereas Batman, Spider-Man, and those things, and Star Wars especially, for the most part, sticks with you. But, they did that Power Rangers kind of Power/Rangers. I think you guys I don't know if you talked about it last week or not, that gritty reimagining they did.
Oh yeah.
What'd you guys think of that? Joseph Kahn directed that.
Oh, I thought it was cool. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing like that would ever happen because they don't care about what us adults think. It's about these kids.
Oh yeah, I would say that shit will never. Like everyone's like, oh, they should make this. Like, yeah. Number one, okay, so I gotta say something about this. Number one, anyone that was like, oh, that was awesome. Like that was like that, and it was like, oh, it's so like that's how Power Rangers should be, dark and gritty. That movie was actually a commentary on like why does everything have to be dark and gritty? It was kind of making fun of the fact that it was like dark and gritty. It's like the fact that like everyone was like, yeah, this is how our Power Rangers should be. It should be dark and gritty. Like, no, that's not the point. The point was like he was like making a statement. Like even you like look, you can even turn the Power Rangers into something fucking dark and gritty. That's like fun, like lighthearted show.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anybody is going to feed off of adult nostalgia for Power Rangers and make anything like that, we're going to have Michael Bay's Power Rangers. Would actually probably look a lot closer to the original.
Yeah.
With how tacky and shitty it would be.
I can't wait to see what Lionsgate does, though. So, like, right now, the new Ghostbusters movie and the Power Rangers reboot are scheduled for, like, the same
All
day.
right, let's back up the Ghostbusters train real quick here. Back it on up. Back it up.
Woo! Ghostbusters train!
Okay, what the fuck are they doing with Ghostbusters?
Right?
So they're just like, all right, okay, what we need to make money. We need to make it now. What name brands do we have out there that people recognize? Ghostbusters. Okay, get 5 people making Ghostbusters movies right fucking now. I don't give a fuck what they're about, what they're doing. Let's get Lego toys out there. Let's move on this Ghostbusters train, even though it came out 25 years ago. Let's keep it going. Like, what's the deal with the Ghostbusters? Like,
I got
we're
so
now?
confused for a moment. I really got confused because at first, like, the internet was blowing up with, oh, it's going to be an all-woman comedian team being the Ghostbusters. And I'm like, okay, seems like we're milking it a little bit, but that's actually pretty cool. They had an all-dude team. I want to see what an all-chick team would do and their dynamic and stuff. And then all of a sudden it blew up going, oh, they got an all-dude team. And I'm like, okay, why are we acting like this is new? Because it's
Ernie
been
Hudson is
done.
rolling over in his
And
grave.
B, like, I was confused. I'm like, wait, did they just can all the chicks? What's happening here?
Well,
and no, they're making it at the same time.
They want to build a Ghostbusters. Sony does a Ghostbusters cinematic universe, which Sony shows. In all seriousness, like Marvel.
Everyone's like,
has.
all right, everybody. We need to make $1 billion, and apparently the only way to do this is to make all of our movies connect to each other. So, how?
Because it makes you have to watch the other one if you want more of the
So
story.
here's a fun fact. Universal, I think, still owns Namor. So could we get a Namor crossover Ghostbusters movie? It's going to happen.
It's gonna be like Ghostbusters West or some stupid shit like that. Like, I don't understand what they're doing.
Well, okay, so this is the rumor. This has always been kind of like Dan Aykroyd's idea, and I don't know how involved in it, but when he originally wrote the script, like, the Ghostbusters were already established, and they had like franchises like everywhere. Like there was like a Ghostbusters like in every like town or whatever.
It was like Batman Inc.
And
So like,
somehow these franchises just managed to have all of the same gender in each franchise.
they're
Like when you go to apply, you can't get hired. They're like, no, I'm sorry, dude. This is the girls' team.
we only have 3
No,
boys.
you're
We
gonna have
already
to go to
have
the next date for the boys' team.
boys.
Go apply
So
over there.
We're gonna get transgender Florida Ghostbusters.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm sorry.
Okay, cut it out.
Come on, man. You know I don't believe in editing.
I don't believe in editing either. I've never edited anything. It all stays in. All right, sorry, Brad. We took over your origin story, my friend. I apologize.
Well, one thing about that, one last Ghostbusters point, because I know you mentioned Universal, but I think it's like Sony and Columbia TriStar like own the Ghostbusters film rights now, and they already showed they couldn't build a cinematic universe with Spider-Man, right? So if you can't do it with Spider-Man, you're not going to be able to do it with the freaking Ghostbusters.
If you make good movies, it's not a big problem, but I digress.
It doesn't matter. It's not gonna matter.
But no, that's about it. Just kind of, your average late 20-something kind of geek origin story, I guess, much like a lot of you guys. So.
Am I the oldest guy here? I'm the old person, the one in their 30s?
No.
I'm 30.
I'm 30.
Yeah. I'm not in my 30s.
I'm technically in my 30s. I'm 30 right now, but.
Okay.
I just turned 28 last week, and I did have a Green Arrow birthday cake. So
that's what's up.
Hell yeah!
When I turned 30, I wore my Michelangelo T-shirt to my party.
That's awesome.
I don't even remember what I did when I turned 30.
I was gonna say I turned 30 like a couple of months ago, and I'm sitting here going, "What did I do?"
Yeah, we went to an arcade bar, and I got totally shit-faced.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool. 30th birthday parties. All right, everybody. The 30th
I didn't have a party. I think I just sat at home and drank. I'm so sad.
Same difference.
Right?
How about you tell us about your Week in Geek, Piper?
Oh, me? Okay,
sure,
yay.
Why
not? Unfortunately, I'm not having much time to do much geek during my week anymore, and it's really making me sad, but I am caught up on Rat Queens. I just caught up on Princess Ugg. Because I felt bad. I forgot about it for a couple of issues. And I'm still into it. And before, my kind of overall review of it was that it was cute but predictable. But lately, it's definitely turned away from the predictable part, and now I'm sitting here wondering what's going to happen next and going, oh, well, that I didn't expect that. So so that's nice. And it's getting a little less cute, too, so that's something, too.
We corrupted Ted when he came on the podcast. He's like, maybe I should adult it up a little bit.
Yeah, he threw a curveball that I really wasn't expecting. So now with how the plot was kind of a predictable fish out of water coming of age, the foreign kid teaches all the other kids stuff that they didn't think they were going to learn from them, stuff like that. There's so many cliches in there, and now I don't know what to expect either, which makes me even more into it, so that's good. And I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., of course, so yes. I'm so geeking over that. That one almost made me cry, though. I actually got legitimately sad towards the end, I think. Unfortunately, knowing what becomes of certain characters in the comics kind of ruins any, oh no, me worrying about them. Because if they follow their comics even slightly, then it's all good. But
they don't even touch the comics when it comes to making those shows. The movies too.
I don't know. Then they make the comics focus around the movies too, so it's up in the air. I think maybe.
I just hope they don't do one big continuity where everything's together, comics and movies. That's my biggest fear with Marvel.
I know that kind of feels like what they're doing with Battle World. They're like, how can we bring the movie universe into the comic universe? Because that's what they're doing with Star Wars. Because like
Yeah.
Star Wars comics are all the same thing. So like that, I guess we can go right into the Star Wars talk. Then oh my god, this podcast is all over the place.
Those movies take so long to come out. You gotta do something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So Star Wars announced today that they're doing the episode 7 or 8 comes out on May 7th or something, and
The Memorial Day weekend, 2017, May 2017.
Oh damn.
and then their first standalone movie is called Star Wars Rogue One,
Yes, Rogue One.
and it stars it's going to star Felicity Jones, right?
Right.
So my theory was, if you guys read Princess Leia last week, there is a character in that book who is a tall blonde female.
Yvonne?
Is that how you say your name? I think it's Evan.
Really? I
just-
thought it was Yvonne, maybe. Okay,
Is it
I was
Yvonne?
mispronouncing
Or
it.
maybe it's
Misreading
Eva
it.
Ann? Eva Ann?
How is it spelled?
Evan.
Oh,
Eva
That would
Ann?
be Yvonne.
I would think Ivan
Okay.
because of the double A.
Yeah, the double
Yeah,
A
but
throws
the
it off.
double A is like not sound, is it?
I don't know.
Shit, I don't know.
It's like
It's
an
a weird
ah
alien.
They're
sound.
not,
Those
they're not
fucking
using
Alderaan
Earth
aliens.
English anyway. Who gives a shit?
Right.
But
That's
so-
interesting. She was supposed to play the Black Cat in the Amazing Spider-Man. She played Felicia Hardy in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. So now she's going to be in Star Wars. So
This is a big step up.
yeah.
Big step up. I hope she can handle
Yeah, that was a terrible movie. That mess. Oh, poor Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
So,
Sorry,
like,
Casey. Continue.
like that. No. That scene where they're like, he's like fighting like Electro, and it's like Electro, burn, techno music, burn. Like, really, like stupid. Like,
Or
that-
when they flip a table off, flip a table over, and he's like, "My, how the tables have turned." I really thought.
I'm sorry, I haven't even bothered to watch like the second Spider-Man trilogy after the first one. Like
Oh,
I
it's
didn't.
not a trilogy. It didn't make it that
Well,
far.
but-
yeah.
Oh no, that's right. I wanted it to. No, I haven't watched. I guess the second batch of Spider-Man movies. Not after paying real money to see the first batch. Like, so this is awesome. This is hilarious.
See, if Andrew Garfield was in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, those movies might have been perfect.
Now, here's what I always say.
I don't know, because the writing still sucked.
Tobey Maguire was a very good Peter Parker. I thought Andrew Garfield was a very good in the suit Spider-Man. You know, kind of wisecracking, smart ass at the villains and whatnot. But nobody has kind of got the character perfect yet. So hopefully Marvel Studios, whoever they cast, can get the essence of the character.
Yep, some 15-year-old Disney kid.
Yeah, we're all waiting for. What'd you say, Casey, on that podcast? You're gonna be 40 years old, excited to go see a 15-year-old black kid play Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
I would really like to see a movie that has kind of Peter Parker pass the torch to Miles Morales, because I've read all the Miles Morales comics and he is a very interesting character.
Our kids will be adults by the time that shit happens.
Yeah. That's I agree with Sean and them in their podcast. Like Marvel is not gonna be like, oh, we're not gonna do Peter Parker. Like, no, fucking yeah, they are gonna do Peter Parker, you morons.
Yeah,
Like, they may make it. They can make it a black Peter Parker. I could see them doing that, but it's not. He's gonna be fucking Peter Parker. Like, he's not gonna be like Miles Morales. Like, sorry, it's not gonna happen. So
Yeah.
get over it.
Not
just
until my
think
kid
it
is
would
30.
we can dream. But back to Star Wars, right, Casey?
Yeah. So Yvonne. So Yvonne is like this character, this like strong female character in the first Princess Leia book, and Star Wars made a point in saying like characters from the comics will show up in the movies, and her like role is like she's a Rogue Squadron like pilot. So like, what if like Rogue One is like her like story of like her
I think that would be-
Alderaan, and like it's Alderaan, right? The one that gets blown up.
Yeah,
I'm
Alderaan.
not a huge Star Wars guy. Her escaping Alderaan and then like getting up with like these rogue pilots and then start like finding X-wings or building X-wings and like putting together like a squadron or whatever. I don't know, but I think that'd be really cool. Like if she would like that's the character she was playing, because that would be a really like nice tie-in. and then something that we get to like has been building for a while in a comic book form, and then we're going to see her like character on film. Like that's super smart. But I don't know if that's what's happening. But it seems logical.
Yeah, I enjoyed her in that comic. I reviewed that for the site, and I thought it was cool how Mark Waid just threw this character in there. It didn't have to be in a previous movie, never mentioned. It felt very organic, and I'm looking forward to seeing where that comic's gonna go.
Like I'm saying, like what if he didn't just throw her in here? Like what if this was like
I
a
know.
plotted out thing? You know, I mean, I don't know, probably not, but. Like the rumor is too that Max von Sydow's character in the new Star Wars movie is a character from the comics. So, like who knows? Like I think it's a really cool idea of like that they're trying to create this like overarching like shared universe. Like every medium art form like thing is going to be like shared together in the same universe. It's going to kind of eliminate like the weird like confusion and offshoots, and that's going to allow them to control stories. So I don't know. It's a cool experiment. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, the whole Ghostbusters, and there was also like a rumor like Men in Black and something else crossover.
Yeah, I heard.
21 Jump Street. 21 Jump Street.
21 Jump
Men in
Street.
Black.
That's ridiculous.
Doesn't make any damn sense. Doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. So
Why? No, Men in
Like,
Black
anything to make
needs
$1
to
billion,
be
I
left
guess.
alone. Like they had a third movie out
He's
of
still there.
nowhere, and they need to leave it alone.
I like the third one better than the second Men in Black. The one
Yeah,
with
but I
Josh
mean,
Brolin.
like, let things die on a good note. It's just like when like TV series go on like 1 or 2 seasons after they are done and they
Like Heroes?
kept going. Yeah, where they're
bringing it back. They're like,
clear-
oh wait, superheroes are popular again. Back up that money train, son.
No, yeah, we're the writers have clearly run out of ideas with these characters, but they're making so much money that they stretch out like a couple more seasons. So when the show is finally over, you don't remember it as, man, that was an awesome show. You remember it as, man, remember how ridiculously stupid that show got? That's
Prison
how
Break.
you remember things. See? Don't do that to movies, too. That's what they've been doing. They've been dragging out a lot of like dead movies and making them extra special stupid.
We like totally interrupted your weekend geek, Piper. Did you have anything else?
I can't remember now. I don't know. I did things and read stuff, and now I can't remember them.
I'm
I
sure
didn't
Casey-
think to write them down.
So I'm sure Casey read 8,000 things. You can recall it while he's talking.
Yeah, that's true. I'll just keep interrupting Casey.
Casey, did you read Spider-Gwen #2 this week yet?
I did. That's the only comic I read, though. I didn't read that much. No, I'm kidding. I read a ton of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
I was saying we're having two big image like writers on, so I'm like, fuck, I gotta read their like whole volumes like real fast. So I've been reading a bunch of like Goners and Danger Club as well, but I won't talk about those because we're gonna have a whole podcast to talk to those guys. We're 2 podcasts.
Okay.
There are 3 podcasts.
Oh.
Shit.
Wow. They must have a lot to say, and they know how long Casey's Weekend Geek usually is, so they were like, yeah, we're going to need a couple podcasts to...
I listen to this podcast, and I'm not sure Casey goes to work because of all the shit he reads.
I know! I'm always like, where does he find the time?
It's dance class, so like an hour a day, and I just fucking burn through as many comics as I can. For an hour every Thursday. But I had a harrowing experience driving back from dance class because I'm an idiot. So so I had my wife had to work tonight, so like usually we go to dance class together. It's like all smooth and it works fine because there's 2 of us. There's no big deal. But it was just me and the little one, and she's a fucking monster. So like I had like my stack of comics and my iPad with me because while she's in dance class, I'll sit there and just burn through like read a bunch of comics. So I'm like getting her in the car, and she's like yelling and screaming and being a total bitch. And
Damn, man!
my daughter is.
Positive you can't say that.
My daughter is adorable. But number 1, she knows she's adorable. Number 2, she has way too big a vocabulary for a 3-year-old. And number 3, she's a total pain in the ass. Like just to be a pain in the ass. So of course she's just being a pain in the ass just because she knows she's being irritating to me. and she knows I have to go. So so I set my comics and the iPad on top of on the car, and like I'm like struggling to get her in the car seat. And I look at them and I stare right at them, and I'm like, okay, I know you're there. Do not forget that you're there. Don't forget.
Oh no.
So I fucking I strap her in. Like we're screaming at each other. She's like telling me like something about fries and chicken nuggets, and so we're driving out of the parking lot, and I hit the brakes a little, and I hear like a thunk. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And then I drive out, and then like it like hits me like 10 seconds later, like as I drive, like make a left onto the street and like drive to my house, and like, oh my god, the comics and the iPad are on top of the car. So like I pull over and I see one fall. Like as I pull over, I see like, and then I stop. I see one fall off to the passenger side. I'm like, oh good. Like I'm like one of those lucky people that's like an idiot and drives with like a cup on top of their car for 3 blocks. So like one fell, and like I was like, oh, okay. So I go out, and like 2 of the comics are there, and the iPad's there. I was like, oh good, the iPad's safe. Like that's all I really cared about. Like the comics, whatever.
Stop buying fucking paper comic books.
Listen, when the iPad starts to have smell-o-vision, and they can guarantee me that iTunes or whatever Comixology will never go bankrupt, like ever in my entire lifetime, then I'll start buying digitally. But like the digital thing scares me. Like I don't like. I still buy video games digitally because I'm like, what happens? Like, what happens when they turn off the server and I can't play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 anymore? God damn it, Capcom.
I still prefer to buy most of my games physically, so that I know I have the physical game.
Yeah, so you can just have them on your bookcase collecting dust when you start playing the shit.
Yeah, I know. No, it's right next to my TV. I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, I never watch any of those movies. And then the funny thing is too, like. All of my like every device, even my TV, they're all like smart TVs. They have like Flickster apps and like the whatever Voodoo on them. So I never actually have to take the CD out and put it in anything, because I can just put it on the app on the TV because they're all digital anyway. Could you get like that code or whatever? So I don't know. Believe me, I'm an idiot. Anyways,
I like having the physical copy. I like something tangible, just being able to read through it. Now, some of those apps, though, are pretty awesome when you get those HD panel-by-panel shots. Some of that stuff's slick, man.
Yeah, believe me, it's totally a better way to read comics. I know it. I definitely know I'm wrong in this situation, but
what I think is the worst is, I don't know, the comics that were very obviously not designed with digital in mind first. So you have like the awesome page spread image, but when you're looking at it on a screen, it's broken up into like 2 separate pages you have to flip through on the screen. So you don't get the whole like big view of like the cool image. You get a piece of an image. That's one drawback of digital, I think.
Well, the biggest problem with digital is that Casey can suggest some comics and I can go spend $50 on that shit in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's another big problem too.
You don't have to drive to the store, just right at your fingertips, right?
You have nothing to show for it either. Yeah, they're like all on this like stupid little like black device. So like, who cares? Like I can throw this thing across the room and break it. Like done. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's just weird. Like I like have it. Like I like having the boxes in my house. Like I like knowing like there's a danger element. Like what if it gets wet? Or like what if there's a giant storm? Like like what if there's a fire? Like which comic am I gonna grab? You know what I mean? Like.
Edge of Spider-Verse #2, because that book's worth like $100 now, first print.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Because I was about to say, if my house was on fire, that would be like kindling right there. But
what the hell?
Not if it's worth money. I'll be cool with it then.
Yeah. So back to my comic story, falling off my roof. So there's 2 were there, and like I had the iPad, so I was like, okay, cool. I can deal with losing 2 comics. And then I like look off to the distance, and I see them. They're in the middle of the road. I'm like, all right, kids in the car. I'm gonna just pull off the road. I'm gonna pull off to the side, put it in park. I'm gonna run out and get the comics. So I fucking run as fast, the fastest I've ever ran. It's like 3 or 4 cars run over them, and I'm like, fuck no! Like, no, stop driving. So like run, like wait for like a break in the traffic, grab the 2, and they're like, the only thing that's hurt is like the plastic is like a little like torn, like the bags and boards is a little torn. Other than that, they're pristine. So I saved them from.
And you left your daughter in a running car for this.
I did.
It was Edge of Spider-Verse #2 is what he did say. All right.
No, it was actually amazing. It was Star Wars #2 or 3. It was one of the that was that one. And it's amazing
I read that this week. Star Wars #3. I just read that. I thought that was pretty good into that story. I like that Chewbacca splash page where he comes in just kicking ass.
Yeah, that book has been balls to the wall since freaking issue 1. It's awesome. It's so much like
that shit.
fun. Like all the Star Wars books from Marvel have been really, really good so far. But that being said, they have like the best creators on them.
Yeah, absolutely. But whenever
you can imagine, like when those guys leave, like there may be like a giant like drop off in like quality, but for now, they're really fucking good.
In issue 3, Vader takes down a AT-AT single-handedly with his lightsaber.
Oh, that's not even my favorite scene. My favorite scene is when Luke like drives off in the. It is a cool scene. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty badass.
Yeah.
But my favorite scene is when Luke drives off in like one of those like speeder bikes.
Yeah.
And Vader's like, "Oh, you guys go after the other rebels. I'm gonna get him." And he like flicks his wrist and like throws a guy out of a cockpit of like another like airship. He's like, "Fuck you." He like throws him out. He's like stormtroopers are so expendable that he'll kill one just so he doesn't have to like ask him to like move for him. So like, I loved it. Like I was like, "Oh, that's the best." Like, yeah, like. And the Vader comic book is probably the best one out of all of them, too. And that's only on issue 1, I think. I don't think issue 2's come out yet. Oh, two come out?
Yeah. That's I like all of them like you, Casey, but Vader's been my least favorite so far. Still a great book, but out of the 3,
there's just so much character in that book. Like Vader was always kind of like, not one note, but like, he didn't get to say a lot, and like, you never got to see his like facial expressions. You never will get to see his facial expressions. So like in the comic book, like he gets across so much more like emotion and like fault. Like he's broken. Like he's a broken character, and like you get to see that through like the Vader book, and his interactions with the Emperor are really cool because like the Emperor's like, man, you fucked up. Like you had this giant like super powerful weapon, and you like let these like kids like come in and blow it up, you moron. Like how did you leave like a 2-meter like weak spot? Like what's your problem? And he like demotes him and like makes this like general like this regular guy basically like his boss, and like then Vader has to like go like not go talk to the Emperor, but now talk to this other guy. Like if he like goes and talks to the Emperor, he's like, don't talk to me, like I'm not your boss anymore, like this guy's your boss, like talk to him.
Yeah, tag.
So it's really cool. So then Vader like kind of like they like have this like back and forth, and Vader's kind of like, fuck this, I don't like, I hate working for this guy, like what the fuck. So like it's really cool, and it had some really great scenes, and you get to see kind of him just be a badass. Like, there's a really great scene where he's in Jabba's palace, and Jabba's like, what, are you trying to do a mind trick on me? He's like, no, bitch, I don't mind trick you, I choke you. And like, starts choking him. Yeah, it's so good. So good.
So, you were talking about him getting blamed for the destruction of the Death Star, right? And I was discussing this with some other friends that read this book. If you remember, I know I'm getting maybe a little too Star Wars geeky here, but like in A New Hope, when he's talking to Tarkin, like he warns Tarkin that a weapon, no matter how powerful, is nothing compared to the power of the Force, right? So he believed that they were kind of putting the Death Star above what they should be putting them, like the Sith, the Force, whatever you want to say. I don't know. I think I'm out there on this one, guys, but I have this crazy theory in my head that for some reason, whatever reason, that Darth Vader wanted the first Death Star to get destroyed because he didn't believe in the power of the battle station, and he didn't believe that the priorities of the Empire were in the right place, but everybody thinks I'm crazy, so
you should mix George Lucas. He ain't doing shit these days.
Yeah, you know what happens when you ask George Lucas about Star Wars? He says, "I don't give a fuck about Star Wars."
Yeah.
He was spotted at Midtown Comics this week in New York City buying Star Wars #1. Yeah, it's on the internet.
That's pretty cool.
Can you imagine him reading that and being like, God damn, this shit's so much better than mine?
Yeah.
Why didn't I think of that?
It's like, well, they should have added like 100 more X-Wings into this scene, and but.
I mean, to be honest, like, going to say, like, issue 3, it does have a lot of shit going on in it. Like, there is like a lot of like very Michael Bay like explosions, like a lot of yelling. There's a lot of like
No.
stormtrooper everywhere. Yeah, so
I,
that's
I,
very I guess, but it's so good. Like I said, all the Star Wars books have been really, really good.
but that scene you were talking about when the Millennium Falcon kind of flies off, I like that shot because as Vader's looking up to the Vulcan, it's kind of like when at Hoth when the Millennium Falcon escaped, kind of
Right.
like an homage to that. So
Yeah, there's tons of like nods, like, oh, look what we did there. That's for you guys. There's a lot of those in the Vader book.
I'm
like,
that guy, Casey. I'm that guy. Yes, that is awesome.
Oh, okay. So that covers one book that I read, Star Wars. It's
Wow. Oh my goodness.
really good. I also read Amazing Spider-Man number 16. Really, really good. Kind of just, it's like fucking Marvel. Like everything has to like kind of like take a step back because they're all kind of waiting for Secret Wars to happen. So so between Spider-Verse, which was a giant event, and Secret Wars, like Marvel has like Spider-Man has like 2 or 3 issues. So like this one was actually like a really good issue because it was kind of like a reset. Like, all right, back to basics. Like it's just Spider-Man fighting like a lame villain, like making jokes and having to deal with like his real life like in the background. Like it's a straightforward one-shot issue. Really good. He fights the iguana, and then is having to like kind of like deal with being like Peter Parker and the head of a CEO at the same time. It's very like classic Spider-Man, which is something Slot's very good at. So I really enjoyed it, but it's just kind of like a break in between the next big event. Nothing really amazingly special. Oh, stop it.
Do you think they'll
plot.
take?
I'm like, oh, it's terrible. He wrote it. Nope.
Do you
Dan Slott
think
is
that they'll take Dan Slott off of Spider-Man after Secret Wars? Because he's been on that book forever.
Could they take him off of it
No.
now so that maybe Spider-Man won't be so terrible?
I don't know this on my podcast at all.
In my defense, as my #1 comic of the year of 2014, I actually said Spider-Verse because I thought like the Spider-Man franchise could really use it after all the terrible things that have happened to it. But it still could have had a better writer.
We're going to have a talk after this, and you may be disciplined.
Did you not like Superior Spider-Man, or what did you not like about Slott's
I don't
writing?
like Dan Slott. He can't write a woman if his life depended on it, and he's just kind of a terrible person.
You don't like, what's her name? Anna Macaroni? Is that her name?
Macaroni.
Macaroni, Anna Macaroni. I like her. I think she's a decent female character.
I think dudes can write females, so I'm not one of those people that's like, dudes just suck at
I
writing
think what happened was you saw something you didn't like, he said on Twitter, and now you hate him.
I hated him before. I
Okay.
just told him I hated him after he said that on Twitter.
Case solved.
I hated him
Moving on.
before that.
I don't bring politics into my comic book reading. He's a fantastic writer. Amazing
No, he's
Spider-Man
not.
and Silver
No.
Surfer are amazing.
Dude, I don't even like Spider-Man was just never like really on my radar too terribly much. But I could probably write him better than he can.
I'm not even listening to you anymore.
No,
don't
I
know,
can't, dude.
Superior
Watch.
Spider-Man was
I
one
will
of the best
somehow-
spy stories. Like,
I'll tell you what. You write Spider-Man fanfiction, Piper, and I will happily post it for the world to see. No problem.
Post it for the world to see.
Okay, Spider-Gwen. Moving on.
There we go.
Moving on to more Spider-Man. Spider-Gwen, #2. Really, 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 really good. I'm gonna pull it out because I don't know what it is about the art, and maybe Bradley, you can articulate better than I can. The art is fantastic.
I really enjoy the
He's
art.
already holding it up. I'm taking all damn day, Casey.
Oh, you want me to hold it up?
He's already doing it because you're
I
taking
wasn't
all
holding
damn
it up.
day.
I wasn't gonna hold it up at all. I was.
Besides, he's
I was
got a better
just-
camera quality, so nah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, Casey got that 3 megapixel camera working.
I
Right?
don't know what.
I think the art of Spider-Man really helps.
I
really
think
helps stand
what
out.
makes this book unique is like the art's great, but the colors in this book, they really fit the vibe of the book. They make the book pop. The colorist Rika Renzi. I don't know. It's very different than anything else that Marvel has going on color-wise right now.
I love her eyes. Like the fact like you could totally tell like she just like turned like a spray can upside down and just like sprayed around like a can or like a bowl or something. Like her eyes are so cool. Like, I just love like the hoodie look of her. Like her costume is awesome. I don't know. And then this issue is like her and like Spider-Ham like piling around. So it's really I really enjoyed it. This is definitely gonna be a pull list, like a regular pull for me until it gets terrible, which I'm sure will happen. Or it'll get canceled after 8 issues.
Oh God, no! That book's not getting canceled. I don't think.
Spider-Gwen compared to like a
Casey.
lot of stuff. Spider-Gwen is very respectable. Her costume isn't stupid. It's neat.
Well,
The
you can't
artwork
tell.
really
You
makes
can't
it
tell
stand
it's a
out.
girl. Like, that's weird. Like
That's what. Well, I mean, I think you could tell just enough, but they're not focusing on.
yeah, definitely
Hey,
not.
TNA, this is check it out. The boobs, the giant boobs hanging out means she's a female character. I like that they're focusing more on the character and not her body parts.
The signing that they had the writer, the artist, and the colorist about 30 minutes from where I live, right here in Charlotte, and I'm talking there was a 4-hour wait to get in to meet this creative team for Spider-Gwen.
Really?
There were people cosplaying as Spider-Gwen. I mean, it was huge.
I want to cosplay as Spider-Gwen, and I don't know how to go over, but I definitely want to do it. Just because number one, I love hoodies, so like that's totally a cosplay for me.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I didn't like issue 2 as much as I did kind of issue number 1. So maybe I'm off base on this. Is Spider-Ham supposed to be like an illusion? It's an illusion called she fell, right? But that's supposed to represent Peter in this book, right? Peter Parker, kind of. That's the way I read it.
I guess. I think it was just because she just interacted with him, and they wanted a reason to bring him back.
Yeah.
So they're like, and I think having Peter Parker there would be like too like omnipotent. Like it'd be like, oh, her like the ghost of the guy she supposedly killed is like following her around now.
Yeah.
I think you're right, but I think in her mind she like made it Spider-Ham so it wasn't so like dramatic, and she could have fun with it, and it wasn't like he was more like a Jiminy Cricket character.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like my favorite throwaway line was like, oh, it's not like you're fighting like Baron Zebra or anything. Because the spider, it's totally a nerd joke. Nobody.
I like that when you're like Baron Zemo. Okay, yeah, like a play on Baron Zemo, right?
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah,
so
the Spider-Ham universe, like all of the characters have like weird like animal names.
Well, I wrote a review for this for the site, and I really like how the dynamic of this book is. I know it's about Spider-Gwen; she's the star of the book, but it's going to really focus, I think, a lot on kind of the relationship between Gwen and Captain Stacy. They kind of got, I think they're going to have like a Batman and Jim Gordon dynamic, but they're, father-daughter. I think that's something that's going to be pretty unique here in the months going forward.
Yeah, it's good. It's really cool. I really enjoy that book. It's a lot of fun, and like Piper said, it's not like over the head. Like this is a hot, like she's a cool girl that you guys all should like be inspiring to be, and she's awesome.
Well, Gwen's always been classy. Like even going back to the early days, right?
She's not very classy in this book. She's like a grungy drummer chick who like pukes over like a barge and then hangs out with them. Sees Spider Pig in her head. So.
You've just changed my mind. I hate Spider-Gwen now. They've ruined Gwen Stacy. I'm joking.
She's like Kurt Cobain Stacy.
Oh.
She is, but that's a good thing. It's cool. Like I dig it.
I like Nirvana and Gwen Stacy, so that works for me.
Yeah.
The other book I read this week, and because I'm just dying to find out who the female Thor is, and because this may be one of the best covers like of the year so far, is Thor.
Which we would be able to tell
6.
if it weren't.
Oh my God! Hold on.
Camera.
Hold on. Let me fucking up my camera quality here.
What Thor is it? Shit, I can Google that shit.
I think it's number 6.
I'm behind on that.
So basically, it's like a silhouette of like the new female Thor, and then it's every like character, like female character that could possibly be. Like,
that's cool. Though. I like that cover. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, okay. So it's any female character that she could possibly be.
Yeah, that people have mentioned. My favorite part though is like Loki snuck in there.
I can't.
And he's kind of like he's like pointing at himself, like, oh, am I supposed to be here? Or
yeah, that's fun. It looks like he's doing Blue Steel.
I could totally be Loki.
Yeah, he totally is. But yeah, so it's a really cool book. It is basically like Thor, like being like, I have to know. Like I know it doesn't matter, and I know that she's worthy. I know she's a hero, but I need to know who it is. So like he kind of goes around like trying to figure it out, and he goes to he's like, oh, is it Angela? No, it's not her. Is it Sif? No, it's not her. Is it Valkyrie? No, it's not her. Then he even goes to Jane Foster, and like it turns out she has breast cancer now, which I did not know.
Aww.
So she's like dying in like Asgard and like refusing like magic medicine, which I find it ridiculous. Like if you're on your deathbed and like the Asgardians are like, we can heal you with our magic, and she's like, no, I'll take the chemotherapy instead. Like, really? Like, really? Like come on now. Like I know like you're a doctor and stuff, but like take the magic. Like her excuse was like magic always has a price, but like come on. Like Thor's like, I have a metal arm. Like come on, like just take the magic. Like it's okay. So he's kind of going around like checking people off, like literally checking people off. Like he has a list, and like he's checking.
He just come up with this? He just comes up with the list?
Yeah. Like he has a list. I don't know. He has like a list of all these people. Like he's obsessed. So eventually, like he thinks he narrows it down to this. Spoiler alert. I don't know if I don't think this is who the female Thor is. I don't think it is. Because there's no way they would just be like, it's this person, and just like do it so like obviously. So he thinks it's
I
like
think they're milking this pretty good. So
Yeah, they are.
So he thinks it's this S.H.I.E.L.D. agent named Solomon. Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking ruin her name. Rosalinda Solomon. And basically, she was like a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent that was around like during like the when Asgard was like came to that town like Brighton or Ohio or wherever. Like it's in a town now. I forget what it's called though.
What? Was it in Nevada or New Mexico's where it was at?
No, it's in Nebraska.
Oh, Nebraska. Okay.
I think so. I could be wrong. Maybe you're right. But it's like in a town. So he's like, oh, it's her. Like it has to be her. And then like so it shows her picture, and then the next page is like her, or is like female Thor like taking some bullets from like some bad guys. So they're like, oh yeah, it's definitely her. I don't know. But the splash page, like the end page is pretty cool, because if you know anything about Thor, like he always like has to end up fighting like the Destroyer at some point. So, like the big last page of this book is like the Destroyer comes, and so she's got to end up fighting the Destroyer.
How have they been milking this for so many issues?
I don't know, man, but they have, and I feel like they're gonna milk it until Secret Wars.
Probably.
Like that, like they'll reveal it before Secret Wars.
And then
I've been kind of like, I've been on and off of it because I really I don't like. It's really good. Like it's the best Thor that's probably been out in ever. Like I don't really care that like Thor is just not my bag. It's not my bag, baby. But I just want to know who the girl Thor is because I'm a comic nut, so I just want to know just because I'm a crazy person. So I've just been picking it up randomly. Like the only reason I got this one because it said on the cover like who is Thor, and I was like, oh, is this the one they're finally revealing it? But I should have just been smarter and done my research and known that wasn't the one.
Yes, but it's
know,
people
like,
like you that's why they can and will milk this as much as they possibly can. It's because they know that everybody wants to know.
And
it's probably driving a lot of people nuts.
Then they'll retcon it as soon as they reveal it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just
then
like they did.
Secret Wars will wipe it away.
The whole storyline was all a dream.
Remember, it's like with Civil War back when, Parker revealed his identity to everybody, and then it's like, nope, brand new day, wiped all that. I think that was Dan Slott too, wiped all that away.
Yeah. No, was it Dan Slott? No, it was
Brand New Day.
Oh yeah, Brand New Day was Dan Slott. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep, that was Dan Slott when he first started. Anyways, so that's my week in geek, but I want to talk about one more thing because we are way already over time.
Jesus, you're talking like Casey.
I know. And I'm gonna mention it because the Angry Ginger on Twitter asked us.
Oh yes.
What we thought of the new bat suit. Have you guys seen the new bat? Like, okay, so Scott Snyder's kind of been teasing, like, yeah, I want to write Batman, but I want to do my Batman and what I think. So he's even doing that with Endgame. Like, he's kind of making the Joker his own thing, like, kind of turning the Joker into something new. It's awesome.
Awesome.
But he's like, after Endgame, there's going to be a new status quo for Batman, and it's going to be major. And they revealed, like, Batman's new costume, and it looks like a Japanese robot mech suit, but not a bat. It looks like it was for a bunny. I'm not joking you.
Yeah, I saw this pic. Yeah.
They're also revamping Wonder Woman and Superman's costumes. I don't have such an issue with theirs, but the bat thing is really, really weird. And the suit looks really bad, and I hate this because I hate saying it because Scott Snyder follows me on Twitter. We have talked before. Excuse me, but
He's a good guy too.
Yeah, he's
tell
super
him
nice.
to come here and defend the bat suit.
No, I've never. But yeah, it's really weird, and I'm hoping he kind of like pulls it out of the thing. But I'm sure Sean's looking at it now.
I'm trying to find it. Who
It's
made
really
this?
strange. It's
Greg
Scott-
Capullo did
Greg
the
Capullo
art,
all
right?
over the art,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, okay.
So the big speculation is like
I
number
like
one.
him. I like his stuff.
Yeah, his
Usually.
art's been amazing. Yeah, it's really,
Yeah.
really good. But the speculation is that like number one is that Batman. So does something happen to Batman after Endgame to where he's not Batman anymore? Number
Maybe
two,
it's
like
Robo Batman.
yeah, is it Yeah, exactly. Is it Batman to where like the Joker messes him up so bad that now he has to like walk around in like this mech suit to like survive or like be Batman essentially?
Darth Batman.
But yeah, I mean, the suit is really bad design. Like I don't know, it's just a really bad design. It looks like a bunny. Like it looks like a rabbit.
It's funny.
And what is the shame because Greg Capullo has written drawn a couple of armored like bat suits already for Batman, and they've both been like awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that one just seems like a out of left field like thing. I don't know. So it's gonna be really interesting to see where all that goes. So I just wanted to bring that up because of the Angry Ginger.
That
Well,
one.
it leads you to
Twitter,
wonder,
but-
like, how much creative wiggle room do the artists get when the writers are describing stuff? Because from the looks of it, for the most part, if something is not specifically described in like excruciating detail, the artists tend to get their own way and get to do whatever in the world they want. So for this suit right here, it just kind of makes me wonder, like, did the writers specifically say, no, we need it to look like such and such, or did he just go, hey, it's time for Robo Bunny? I don't
know. I'm guessing. I'm hoping the story will kind of tell the tale. And like I said, Zack Snyder has been doing an amazing job on Batman so far, so there's no reason to doubt him. But like that design just threw me off. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I like. I listened to an interview that Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo did on Fat Man on Batman, the Kevin Smith podcast.
Oh, nice.
And Snyder is very like specific and very detail oriented on how he wants the story to be told, even from like Piper was saying, kind of like artistically speaking.
Yeah, he'll even like describe like panel layout and stuff too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so he probably did most of the dictating on how this suit needed to look.
Yeah, they butted heads a lot too.
I just found the picture. And that's totally ridiculous.
Yeah,
All right, guys. Well, let's.
Batman is supposed to like his main thing was striking fear into criminals, and I'm like, dude.
Maybe confusion is his new thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not scary. If anything else, that's gonna be like
maybe he lost all his money and he has to do birthday parties now.
It looks like a progressive RoboCop.
All right, guys. Well, so that's our show. We gotta wrap up because number one, my legs are burning under this laptop, and number two, I gotta pick up my wife from work. We gotta wrap this up because she's sitting there waiting for me.
No!
Real quick, what's your guys' let's go with your what's it called? I don't even know. I don't host this show anymore.
Twitter.
No, Piper. What's the segment called? Shit.
The segment we just did?
No. What we're doing right now, the end of the show.
It's the
your final thought. There you go.
Yeah.
So give us your final thought and your plug. So Bradley, if you want to just give us where we can find you on Twitter, what you've been up to, what you're doing, where we can find your stuff, all that goodness.
All right, you can find me on Twitter at the Real Brad Bell, REEL Brad Bell, and you can find my articles, my comic reviews on geekswithwives.com. Enjoyed pumping out a lot of reviews this week, and I'm hoping to be on the Geeks on Screencast here tomorrow night, where we're going to be doing a horror theme for Friday the 13th. So looking forward to that.
Those guys are whack as shit. You can tell them I said that. I'm kidding. I love them.
I'm supposed to. That's the only podcast now of Geeks with Wives that I haven't crashed.
Get on it, Pipes.
I know. Well, I'm
All right,
waiting
kiddo,
for them to
you're
talk
next.
Doctor Who, and then I'm crashing it.
Then that's when you're gonna go on. I'm sure
Mhm.
that'll be coming up. All right, Piper, where can we find you?
You can find me. Well, you can find my stuff when I get the time to write anything. Also on Geeks with Wives, and you can find me on Twitter at FizzGiggity. I'm not spelling it for you today. Search Piper, and you might find me. Also on Outside Boxcast on Twitter, and like a million other places. And sign my Poison Ivy petition because I've upped the stakes now. Since the most viewers I get on Twitch are when I'm playing one of the Just Dance games. I have offered
Hold on.
What?
Shocking.
Oh. Nobody wants to see me play Evolve, but friggin' embarrassing myself dancing? Oh yeah, they're there. No, but I have offered now to finish putting together my Poison Ivy cosplay and dance as Poison Ivy when the petition hits 1,000.
Oh, looking forward to that. I'm just gonna go make up 1,000 fake names.
Yeah, just when it hits 1,000, I still have to get a couple pieces for the cosplay, but I will do a special stream on the Geeks with Wives Twitch. Why not? Dancing as Poison Ivy.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Piper. Shaun, where can we find you?
Hey, I'm everything. Look, check the shirt, ETMF podcast, Twitter, Facebook.
Oh, they have shirts. That's cool.
Oh, we do it all. Yeah, Twitter, Facebook. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, every place you can find podcasts. I'll be posting articles now and then. I'm covering Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo next month for Geeks with Wives, so look out for my articles for that. I'll actually be in Charlotte tomorrow for the Bulls and Hornets game, so
nice.
That's what I'm on this weekend. Driving to Charlotte first thing in the morning.
Oh, and you're in Georgia, right?
Yeah, I'm in suburban Atlanta.
Okay. Have a safe trip, man. It'll be fun.
Oh, yeah, man. I got to pay too much money for these tickets to not have a safe drive. But thanks for having me, Casey. I feel like we've been friends for a while now, and I haven't been on here. You're terrible.
I know. I am terrible. I'm not a very nice person.
You've been on my podcast like 4 times.
I know.
I'm sorry. What? Jeez.
We'll get you on more, I promise. It's hard to say no to writers and artists and stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no. You actually have a schedule, man. I'm just like, I don't know. We'll record sometime.
Well, thank you so much, Shaun, for coming on. Like I said, we'll have you on as much as you want. So anytime you want to come on, you just holler at me.
Sure.
You can find me at GWW Capes Crew and at Bad Boy of Comics on Twitter. You guys make sure you guys are going to geekswithwives.com every single day because there's always something new to see, always something new going up. We've got cosplay features, we got video game articles, we got comic reviews, we got people making our own comics. Corey Anderson is making a Doug Funny, Doug.
Remember that's awesome, by the way.
Doug? Yeah, he's making. So that's his comic that he's writing and drawing, and that goes up every Friday.
One day,
so
soon, when I'm done, I'm gonna have one on there too.
I'm waiting.
I'm finishing school first because I'm going to school so I can do this stuff, and they won't let me do this stuff. It's
well, as soon as you're done, you got a spot for it. So so make sure you guys are checking all that stuff out all the time. Make sure you guys are listening to our other podcasts, the Geeks with Wives original, where they talk about video games, and the Geeks on Screen, where they talk about movies and TVs and such. I think that's it. Make sure you guys are going out and buying Cosplay Culture magazine because they pay me, so I feel obligated to promote them. So make sure you guys are going and getting that. You can find that at Target and Walmart and wherever you guys buy magazines. I don't know. Make sure you guys are checking the magazine shelves in May because that's when issue 2 is coming out, and you can find my next article out there about Harley Quinn cosplay. So make sure you guys go and buy that because I like getting paid to write, and they're willing to do it. So the only way that's going to continue to happen is if you guys go and buy the magazine. So please go buy the magazine.
What's a magazine?
Exactly. So once again, make sure you guys go to geekswithwives.com. I'm your host, Casey, at the Bad Boy Comics, and we will catch you on the geek side.